Your current position in Epic Games is design manager.
Oh, design
right?
director, yeah.
Or design director, but what's your exact role in Gears of War? Because it seems like you're the man behind it.
Well, it's myself and 100 of my closest friends, right? I mean, I'm fortunate enough that I'm able to do the interviews, but it's also the result of Rod Ferguson, the executive producer, Lee Perry, who's the gameplay designer, Dave Nash, who's the lead level designer, Jim Brown, who's the lead multiplayer, and Joe Groff, who's the lead coder. And we all get together and really kind of hash out and figure out what the game is. From my end, I like to say it's a 50-50 rule, that I try and put 50% of my ideas into the game while harvesting the great ideas of the 50% from everybody else around me. And we also have a rule at work. Usually it's best idea wins, and we put our heads together and figure out what the best thing is. So I balance my time contributing to the game creatively, working with the writer, working with the producer, working on the gameplay, while also trying to spend time on our other projects, such as the recently announced game Bulletstorm.
Gears of War 2 left the player with a lot of questions. I mean, it gave us more questions than answers.
Yeah, that's the lost formula.
That's a good one. So will this third episode definitely close the series as a trilogy?
Yeah, well, you can expect that we will answer the majority of the questions that players have about the history of the world and what's going on. We're not going to answer everything, right? But I can tell you and be confident that this will be the conclusion to a trilogy. So when you look at the overall bucket, when all is said and done of Gears 1, 2, and 3, it will fit together as its nice start and end of a story.
So you said that you don't want to answer, we're not going to answer all of them. That means that you will continue the story, or?
Well, who knows what's going to happen in the future. I mean,
sure.
we're just talking about Gears 3 right now.
Absolutely.
Down the line, I'd love to do something slightly different. Who knows what that could be? But I can tell you that, if for instance, like what the Locust origins are, there are multiple theories online that people have guessed what they are, but there are some who have basically figured out where the Locusts are from, and we never outwardly came out and said.
No.
People have pieced it together, and that's kind of the metagame of narrative in this day and age. When you have the internet, you don't have to explain everything. Some things it's okay to leave a little confusing because it gives people something to discuss in the forums. But that said, like I said before, you will get a lot more answers in this game, and you will leave satisfied and full.
Great. We know that users' opinions are important for your job. I mean, we know that you listen to them, so you read forums and feedback. So what have you realized about Gears of War 2 listening to these kind of opinions?
Gamers love the shotgun.
Right.
This is the first thing we've realized. We always push for the fact that this is a tactical cover-based shooter. And the more you try and push the game as tactical, the more gamers push back and make it into an arcadey type game, right? It's the thing about games like Counter-Strike and Call of Duty is people try and say they're tactical, but they're very fast-paced, very arcadey games, and that's cool. That's okay. That makes it very accessible, right? So we're embracing the shotgun. We're allowing the users to use it as much as they want, and on top of that, we're adding in a sawed-off double-barrel shotgun, which if you like the shotgun, here's a shotgun that's even more powerful. And granted, the reload time is longer on it, and the range might be less, but if you catch a few enemies in your view frustrum, you can potentially jib multiple enemies at once using this gun. It's very, very powerful. We're also adding in a pendulum arrow lancer because users have talked a lot about wanting to see that. So it's the precursor to the chainsaw lancer, whereas it's a rifle that kind of kicks like a mule when it fires and has a large blade on the end of it, which our animators have all figured out all sorts of nasty ways to execute people with.
We're going to stay in the new things you have to the game. What can the fans expect in gameplay-wise changes in this third one?
Well, we're going to continue to refine the cover system to make it the best cover system in the industry. That's something that we continued with Gears 2, and we can always do better with that. I can't really go into too much detail in regards to what kind of executions, but you're going to be expecting a lot more executions, as well as ways for us to positively incentivize players to use those executions. Because sometimes after the first time you use it, you're like, hey, okay, I get it, I can beat a guy to death, that's fine. How is that actually going to benefit me? And we're trying to figure out how to really encourage that in the online space. We have all the new weaponry. There's new moves such as if you mantle over cover, you can kick a guy in the face. The new enemy that you're fighting are called the Lambent, and it's really important to note this, that we kind of teased those in Gears 1 with the wretches who exploded upon death, and then at the end of Gears 2 you saw the Brumac mutate into this heinous creature that was a combination of claws and teeth and tentacles and whatnot. And the the gist of it is that this energy source emulsion that's been powering the planet for so long is not good, and it's infecting various denizens of the planet and causing these horrible creatures to come after you, who are very, very tough, can sprout mutations at any point, can have adverse effects after they die, as far as, you know, turning into different things or exploding, and they take on all different forms, and they're very, very ugly. And the locusts basically haven't been seen much at the beginning of Gears of War 3. It's been about 18 months since the events at the end of Gears 2. We flooded the Hollow. Nobody's seen any locusts. We don't really know where the majority of them are, and we're dealing with this threat of the Lambent, who are just completely horrible, nightmarish creatures.
The story continues right after Gears 2, or?
It's 18 months after.
Okay, 18 months after. So will people need to read this novel that was released? I forgot the name. It's the novel that fills the gap in the
yeah, there's Asphalt Fields and Jacinto's Remnant and things like that. These are the books that Karen Travis wrote. She's the New York Times best-selling author, and those books also were very much bestsellers, which is really weird now when you think about it. You have a video game that's driving book sales. Like, who'd actually thought that would happen? But I'm proud to announce that she's actually going to be writing Gears of War 3, and she has a very, very good way of getting inside these characters' heads from a novelist kind of standpoint. She really understands who they are, and she's going to really be doing a good job of breathing life into these characters, as well as the new ones. You'll be seeing female Gears for the first time. Anya, the blonde dispatcher girl, she's no longer a desk pencil pusher. She is in battle and is kicking ass alongside Delta Squad. The COG have basically fallen into disarray, so everybody's stranded now, and they're trying to eke out an existence while dealing with this ongoing threat of these Lambent that are chasing them around every corner.
You're the first humans to ever desecrate this palace with your presence.
It's her.